I turn to Jaff. Our experts, they do their homework. Jaff, you have an idea about fatigue and the blue line and Montreal. So as a noted, well-rested person,
I'm jealous.
This intrigues me.
It's an amazing transition.
In life, be good at something.
Yes.
Well, Tony sleeps like an expert.
Yes.
Like an expert.
You know, hey, my father always said, you have to be the biggest and best at everything. Find your niche.
Yes.
I'm jealous.
Thank you.
How do you get paid for that?
I don't know.
How do you get paid for that?
I'll work on it.
These guys have been money using the top 4 defensemen for Montreal. I'm more or less throwing it out there than I am saying that this is what's happening. But, Stewie, do you think there's a chance, just due to the mistakes, the mental mistakes that we saw last night, are we seeing perhaps a little mental fatigue come in? They're world-class athletes. These guys, during the regular season, average between 22, 44, and 20 minutes of ice time, the big 4. But playoff hockey is different hockey. We know that. We saw the big turnover, neutral zone, but also then the step up by Sherratt instead of staying back. We saw Edmondson here putting the puck back to kind of nowhere. And look, they're not only are they, taking hits from the opponent, and Tampa's been aggressive. They've been on them. But they're also giving hits. And by the way, giving hits is equally as tiring as taking hits. You know that
as much. Yeah.
So, I'm just wondering. I'm just throwing it out there. And while I couldn't agree more with Tony, with Arpon as well, they played a beautiful game. But are these big guys, are we finally seeing some fatigue in their mental approach to the game?
I think it's a fair point. I really do. I think I'm agreeing with you, but there's a little nuance in this for me that I think we're kind of both on the same page. Yes, I think there's some mental fatigue that kind of factors into this. It has been a long, hard road, and that takes a toll on you, especially when you're kind of loading up a lot of minutes on your top 4, like we're seeing with these Montreal Canadiens. I will say this, though, to kind of, maybe explain that nuance. This team, Montreal, plays a game that is incredibly strong. Just in terms of the puck management, in terms of the structure, they have been, in my estimation, through 3 rounds, almost robotic in the way that they approach each and every loose puck and dispose of any puck that's maybe, it's advantageous for them to do so. So what I'm saying is, now you're dealing with, in my estimation, the toughest test that this team has really faced to this point, and it's testing that puck management, that game structure, in a way that hasn't been tested so far. So they're making mistakes out of poor judgment, and perhaps mental fatigue plays a part in that, if that makes sense. I think Tampa has been the toughest test for this group, and that's why we're seeing some puck management decisions that have been uncharacteristic for that top 4 especially, and going back to last night and perhaps even into Game 1.
Yeah, I mean, listen, here's great analysis. They're good, right? And they're deep and they're strong and they're going to keep coming after you. So I get it. But again, I was just looking at the minutes, and I was looking at it's the type of minutes going against, that Gordon line. They're on top of you all the time.
The margin of error is thinner now than it has been through the prior 3 rounds. And they faced some tough opponents, but there isn't a team in the tournament, or in the league for that matter, built like this group, the Tampa Bay Lightning, or as experienced and well-seasoned as the Tampa Bay Lightning. It's a challenge of a whole nother order.